In this video, I'm going to rank every single gym in Pokémon Emerald solely based on how I feel about their overall designs. Some factors I want to include in my ranking of these designs are how well the gym leader fits their gym, how well the gym fits the type of Pokemon they use, as well as the town slash city slash surrounding area. And I'll take gym puzzles and trainers into account as well, but honestly, this will mostly be just my personal opinion. Oh, and I'm obviously only going to go over the gym's designs in the game, not the anime. Those look very different. This is a fun one, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Coming in at number 8, the worst gym design in Pokémon Emerald in my opinion has to be where it all begins, in the Rustboro Gym. You would probably guess that the very first gym in any generation would take this spot simply due to their overly basic designs. But to be honest, that is not why Roxanne's gym is bringing up the rear in this ranking. Gyms don't need to be large and complex to have a good design. Let's take Brock's gym from the Generation 1 games for example. It's a pretty well designed gym that is also very simple. But Pokémon Emerald's take on the Rustboro Gym has always been odd to me. Heading into the building, the floor design immediately attacks my eyes. It feels like I just walked into a bathroom or a locker room at school. And the walls, which are supposed to be made of rock, just look like Pop-Tarts or graham crackers to me. It's funny because the Ruby and Sapphire version of this gym, while also not great, still manages to have more of a rock theme going for it at least. There's nothing really rocky about Emerald's design though, and if that lone hiker wasn't there, I probably would have guessed that it was a normal gym if I had never played this game before. Since Roxanne's whole thing is that she's a top-level student at the trainer school in Rustboro, I think it would have been cool to see design elements in her gym that reflected that side of her instead, even if there weren't a lot of rocks involved. And again, overly simple gym designs can work out great, just not in this case. At number 7, we have the Fortree Gym, which is ironic for me because Fortree City is one of my favorite towns in the entire game. The aesthetics and overall design of the city itself is a big reason why I like it so much, but unfortunately, it just doesn't carry over very well into the gym for me. The colors just feel a little awkward to me, they don't feel natural, and they don't really align with any of the tree houses or general surroundings outside, both on the exterior and interior of the buildings, as well as the surrounding routes 119 and 120. The floor, again, is a sight for sore eyes. Looks very spongy, like I could just bounce my way over to Winona. The gym puzzle also just doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. It's basic and fine, I guess, but similarly to the Rustboro Gym, it just doesn't make me feel like I'm in a flying type gym until I actually see Winona herself. Speaking of which, Winona prides herself on being graceful and elegant, but her gym just doesn't match her personality in my opinion. Everything feels kind of rigid and not very flowy. At least her gym trainers match the theme they are going for, with mostly bird keepers to deal with. But yeah, there's just too many little things that take me out of the Fortree City experience. Like from an immersion perspective, all I want to do after entering Winona's gym is leave. The Petalburg Gym is up next at number 6, and I have similar issues with the design here as I did with the previous two, although just a little less so. The gym itself is very plain, very boring, and very, dare I say it, simple, but the simplicity aspect actually works great in this case because the Pokemon used here are of the normal type. Fits pretty good. What I don't like though is that the gym is modeled after a typical dojo, which is where the design starts to confuse me. Upon walking into the gym and getting a feel for the place, you would think you're about to encounter some fighting types, but you're literally getting the exact opposite. I don't really understand the different colors used for the floor mats in each room as well. At first I thought they would maybe correlate to the type of strategy that the gym trainers used in each room. Like, maybe the recovery room would have the green mat and the defense room would have the blue mat. But it just seems kind of random. Some make sense to me and some don't. It's a very minor detail, but in both Ruby and Sapphire and in the remakes, they made the colors uniform, so I don't know. This gym definitely moved down the list a bit just based on my personal opinion as well. It's a fine gym, don't get me wrong, I'm just not as much of a fan of the overall theme. I guess in a sense the design does its job perfectly then as a normal type gym. I don't like it, but I don't hate it either, I guess. The Sootopolis City Gym is beautiful. really sharp, icy themed flooring, a nicely designed ice puzzle on each level featuring rocks made of ice to navigate around, an entire basement floor featuring an ice dungeon with icy slides, and just an overall icy atmosphere. Wait, this isn't an ice type gym? Water. What the Okay. I guess it's not reaching super far to have some ice themes going on in a water type based gym, but this maybe takes it a bit too far in my opinion. I mean, the ice type does exist after all, and I don't think water gyms should borrow too much of those themes if possible. The ice theme just doesn't mesh well with the city of Sutopolis either, or the surrounding water routes. I think it would have been cool if they went with some puzzles that required you to use the HM for dive, since that is how you access the city to begin with. Although, I guess making an HM required to get through a gym would be a little unfair. Maybe they could have done something revolving around waterfalls instead? Obviously not involving that HM either, but just something that's not purely ice related would have been way better for the gym. The gym trainers are fine since they kind of align with Juan and Wallace's styles and personalities overall. Plus, it would be really awkward if they made a bunch of swimmers stand in this frozen ice cave for the majority of the day. I wasn't joking around though when I said the gym was beautiful and that the ice puzzle was nicely designed and that it was just a nice atmosphere. Those are all still very true, and I like this gym. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense for the type of Pokemon and moves that you'll run into there. Coming in at number 4, we have the Psychic type gym in Moss Deep City. I personally believe that out of all of the gyms in Pokémon Emerald, this one has the most well-designed and interesting gym puzzle. It also just fits the Psychic theme very well for me, as you actually need to use a couple of your brain cells to actually get through it. The teleporters are cool, pressing the buttons to move the statues around is pretty fun, and the gym trainers not only line up with all of the above, but they're actually some of the more challenging gym trainers in the entire game. Some of which can potentially catch an unsuspecting trainer off guard and cause them to lose a Pokemon or two. The overall color scheme of the gym is a little meh for me personally, but I can appreciate what they were going for. At first glance, the more futuristic floor pattern may seem to clash with the walls, which are more oriental in their style, but I actually think that fits Tate and Liza very well. The two gym leaders dress more traditionally, but just also happen to have powerful psychic abilities. I also really like how they play off each other in their dialogue. Being able to read each other's mind and know what the other is going to say both make sense as twins and as psychics, and I think that detail adds a lot to the gym's overall design nicely. I will say that the gym doesn't necessarily blend in with the surrounding town and routes as well as some of the others, but honestly, Moss Deep is a weird city to me. It doesn't feel like a specific gym of any type would really stand out here anyway, so I guess it doesn't really take anything away from me as part of the gym's design. Overall, I really like the Moss Deep gym, definitely memorable. Our first entry into the top 3 of this list is Watson's gym in Mauville City. While this gym is fairly simple and honestly quite small, the relationship between the gym's puzzle and Watson's personality really makes a big difference for me. Watson is this kind of weird, eccentric old man that just loves fucking around with all the stuff he's not supposed to. But it's strange because he comes off as a really lovable guy for the most part. You get some of this vibe when you first talk to him and challenge him to battle, but you really start to see what kind of person he really is when you take on his little side quest to investigate New Mauville later on in the game. A failed experiment of sorts and a very dangerous area for an average citizen to encounter. I have no idea what he was trying to do down there, but it didn't go well whatever it was. So how does this tie into the gym puzzle? Well, in-game, you get these barriers made of pure electricity that run through various nodes around the room, and every time you step on a switch, they change on you. Stepping on certain switches in a specific order will grant you access to Watson himself, where you can battle him for the 3rd gym badge. While these barriers are just used simply as walls from a game mechanic perspective, I have often thought about how terrifying this puzzle would be in real life. Every step you would take in this gym would be dangerous. One wrong move and you fall headfirst into permanent paralysis. And based on Watson's personality in-game, you would probably find that pretty funny, honestly. Outside of these theories and speculation though, the Mauville gym has a solid theme that you could pick up on immediately. The gym trainers make sense for the most part, except for the one little kid in his random zigzagoon, and the aesthetics of the puzzle are great, even if the puzzle itself isn't very challenging. I may potentially be in the minority here, but I think Dewford's very simplistic gym design is actually really cool. It's a fighting type gym that is essentially a warehouse filled with black belts and athletes in training. The gym is a maze that you need to navigate through in order to challenge Brawly, but the catch is that it's dark all around you, restricting your visibility. This mechanic is brilliant and adds so much flavor to the gym. From a mechanic perspective, it's giving you a preview of the upcoming challenges you'll experience in Granite Cave, which is located right outside the town. But what's also really cool is when you find out from Brawly himself that he uses the darkness within Granite Cave to train himself and his fighting type Pokemon. Every time you defeat a gym trainer, your visibility in the gym improves just a little bit, allowing you to more easily traverse the maze. It makes sense. The more you train in the gym, the more experienced you become in dealing with the darkness. And after you defeat Brawly, his gym badge allows you to utilize the move Flash outside of battle, so you can easily navigate through the cave. You can certainly go through the cave without Flash, but it'll be so much more difficult and tedious without going through the gym and its challenges first. It's just such a cool idea and it works so well. Not to mention that Dewford is also a beach town, which just ties everything together so well for me, and I love it. One of the best early gym designs in the series for me. Flannery's Fire-type gym is a bathhouse full of kindlers, located in a town that's buried in the mountains, sitting at the base of an active volcano, and known for its hot springs and beach area. The Lava Ridge gym just has the perfect theme for the setting around it. Walking into this gym, I don't even bat an eye or question for 1 second where I am or what this place is all about. The hazy steam throughout the building definitely helps a lot with the atmosphere, and it just works so well with the overall color scheme and floor patterns. The geysers littered all over the floor are really cool and satisfying to use while navigating through the gym, and you'll often run into gym trainers that hide within the pools. Flannery herself isn't too bad. A young, inexperienced gym leader taking over for her grandfather. Not the deepest character, but she fits the job description well enough, and honestly, there's just not much else to say. I love the way this gym looks and the way it feels. It just fits in so well with the town, culture around it, and it doesn't take me out of the experience at all. Definitely one of the most memorable gyms from this generation. And with that, this video is now over. Let me know what you thought of my ranking of Pokemon Emerald's gym designs, and let me know what your favorite and least favorite are. As always, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments what other kinds of content you'd like to see me do in the future. That's it from me. I'll see you next time.